Prabhupada ki Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Kevala Bhakati Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Ando Mui Savadana Mate Ando Mui Savadana Mate Hare Prasade Bhai E Bhavatoriya Hare Prasade Bhai E Bhavatoriya Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite Guru Mukha Padma Bhagya Chitete Koriya Kya Guru Mukha Padma Bhakya Chitete Koriya Kya Guru Mukha Padma Bhakya Chitete Koriya Kya Ana Kori Ho Mane Asa Anakari ho mane asa Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asa De Prasade Pure Sarva Sa Jate Prabhu Se Jagadara Jiva Jate Jate Prabhu Se Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Gaura Hari
Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Haribo. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ananta Kota, Vaishna Vindhya, Namacharya, Haridasa Thakur, Bensega Host, Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Vedanta, Shri Rasa Govardhana Ki, Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Govardhana Ki, Lokandam Dham Ki, Shri Mayapur Dham Ki, Maya Ki, Maya Ki, Nati Devi, Bhakti Devi Ki, Bhaktivinoda, Vaishitanya Priyama Sankirtana Ki, Lakshmi Ganga Ki, Prabhupada Ki, Gonitai Ki, Jagannath Subhadra Ki, Vandana Ki, Purnian Campaign Ki, Gaur Premanandi, all goes to Sri Guru Durango, goes to Sri Prabhupada. Ram Krishna Guru Krishna Krishna.
Bow down to the lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By His grace, one can work the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. No one wishes to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from His lotus mouth. Attachment to His lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my outer eye and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord birth after birth. From Him emanates, by Him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of His character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, friend of the poor and Lord master of the devotees. O Master, the mercy come to us, give us the shade of your lotus feet. May your cleansing destroy all our living worlds, to take shelter of your lotus feet.
Gopijana Baba Girivara Hari Gopijana Baba Girivara Hari Yasodanandana Brajajanaranja
Yashodanandana Raja Janananda Yashodanandana Raja Janananda Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Baba Girivardhari Gopi Jana Baba Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Hari Rajagacharya Ashtota Sadishla A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Shri Gaurnitai Ki Shri Jagannath Baladev Shabhadra Ki Shri Radha Landaneshwar Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtanam Ki Brihat Madanga Ki Transcendental Srimad Bhagavatam Distribution Ki Jai Agora Premanandi All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Vastaya Vitale. Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namani Namaste Saraswate Devi. Gauravani Charini Nivasesha Vari Pastichade Shatani. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada. This is off the track. When is Ekadashi? Thursday. During this month of Purushottam Mass, sometimes we don't keep a track of the calendar because there's only Ekadashi of the events in Purushottam Mass. There are no appearances or disappearance day festivals of the Acharyas or the Lord's appearance or any other festival come to that. The whole month is a festival. The most auspicious and for Vaishnava. Glorious month for absorbing ourselves in the path of hearing and chanting and devotional service to the Lord. So nice to be here again, and thank you for coming. And we'll be reading from the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 7. Which verse number? 283. Okay, the book's open on 27. So it's 283. Second canto, chapter 8, text number 3. Questions by King Parikshit. Is that right? Text number 3, and I'm sure you see it on the screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Katayasva. Is that the right verse or not? Mahabhaga. Yataham. Akilatmani. Krishna. Nivesha. Nisangang. Manas. Chakshe. Kalevaram. Katayasva Mahabhaga. Yataham Akilatmani. Krishna Visheshani Sangam. Manaschakshe Kalevaram. Katayasva Mahabhaga. Yataham Akilatmani. Krishna Vishniveshani Sangam. Manaschakshe Kalevaram. Katayasva Mahabhaga. Yataham Akilatmani. Krishna Niveshani Sangam. Manaschakshe Kalevaram. Katayasva Mahabhaga. Yataham Akilatmani. Krishna Niveshani Sangam. Manaschakshe Kalevaram.
Katyasva Mahabhaga. Taham Akilatmani.
Akilatmani.
Krishna Niveshani Sangam.
Niveshani Sangam.
Manasyakshe
Manaschyakshe Kalevaram. Ladies. Katayasva Mahabhaga Pitaham Akilatmani Krishna Niveshani Sangam Manaskyakshe Kalevaram. Katayasva. Please continue speaking. Mahabhaga. O greatly fortunate one. Yata, as much as, aham, I, akilatmani, unto the Supreme Soul, Krishna, unto Lord Shri Krishna, Nivesha, having placed, Nisangam, being freed from material qualities, Manaha, mind, Tyakshe, may relinquish, Kalevram, body. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. This is Parikshit Maharaj speaking. O greatly fortunate Shukadeva Goswami, please continue narrating Srimad Bhagavatam so that I can place my mind upon the Supreme Soul, Lord Shri Krishna, and being completely freed from material qualities, thus relinquish this body. And purport. To be fully engaged in hearing the transcendental narration described in the text of Srimad Bhagavatam means to constantly associate with the Supreme Soul, Sri Krishna. And to constantly associate with the Supreme Lord Krishna means to be liberated from the qualities of matter. It's on the board, isn't it? What does it say? It removes the excitement, in one sense. As you can, you can read it, but otherwise you have to hear very attentively, isn't it? When you have to ask questions on what did Parikshit Maharaj say, or what did Srila Prabhupada comment, it's, on the board. You can read it. One time in his 50th anniversary of ISKCON this year, 60th anniversary. And one time in 66, Prabhupada was asking, so what are the qualities of a Vaishnava? And somebody who was not initiated, calling out their names, so Paul or whatever. What are the qualities? Srila Prabhupada, they're in the book. They're written in the book. So Prabhupada said, it's good that they're in the book, but you should also know them. So the process of hearing is akin to the process of absorption, learning, and application. So to try to hear means to digest. It's like eating. If you don't digest it, not much use in eating. It can actually have a detrimental effect if you don't digest it. Because hearing, even if we don't absorb it, is not detrimental, it's beneficial, but we don't get the transformative effect simply by listening, but by actually digesting. We drink through the ears. There's a beautiful verse, I can't remember, but how maybe Shukadeva or Sutta, they describe how one drinks this subject matter through the ears. It's interesting. We have to relish that subject matter, chew it again and again. When you chew the food nicely, it becomes more digestible. If you just swallow it, you don't get so much benefit. And sometimes we see devotees, they have this enthusiastic tendency just to put it in the mouth, and within a second another load has gone in the mouth. And you're not chewing it, not digesting properly. So the taste maybe, again, even the taste is not fully appreciated. But to chew the foodstuffs nicely so it becomes very digestible. So we chew it, and we chew it in the association of devotees, as Parikshit Maharaj is here extracting the nectar from Shukadeva Goswami. He wants to hear more and more and more about the transcendental pastimes or nature of Godhead, so that it can be absorbed at the time of his departure from his body in remembering Krishna, perfection of life. So if we digest nicely the subject matter as best we can, give oral reception, and repeatedly try to hear about Krishna, then that subject matter will transform our consciousness, which is non-different than Krishna. To constantly, Prabhupada goes on, and to constantly associate with the Supreme Lord Krishna means to be liberated from the qualities of matter. As above, mam chiyo vyabhicharane bhakti yogena sevate sugunan samatityatam brahmapuyaya kalpate. One rises one who is engaged in full devotional service. He's above the modes of nature, even though we appear to be in it. Lord Krishna is like the sun. Material contamination is like the darkness. As the presence of the sun dissipates darkness, constant engagement in the association of Lord Shri Krishna frees one from the contamination of the material qualities. The nature of devotional service. And in fact, in the back to Godhead magazine, Godhead is light and ignorant darkness. So Tamasi Mam Jyoti Maha, to come out the darkness into the light. Wherever there is Krishna, there cannot be darkness or ignorance. Wherever there is the sun, there cannot be darkness. Wherever there is Krishna, there cannot be ignorance. Yes. Contamination by the material qualities is the cause of repeated birth and death, and liberation from material qualities is transcendence. Maharaj Parikshit was now a realized soul. By this secret, simple secret, is not very difficult. So devotional service is not very difficult. To attain liberation by other methods is not easy. Tremendous difficulties. Very troublesome, very difficult to attain. But by the simple process of hearing and chanting about Krishna, one is first of all on that liberated platform, and one attains the absolute state by that process, by the grace of Krishna, because Krishna is present in his, as the holy name, not in it. He is the holy name as the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is personally present. So when we associate with the Bhagavatam, we are associated with Krishna. And if one hears with rapt attention, Sukadeva Goswami says, that one will see Krishna on the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll see him. Maharaj Parikshit was now a realized soul by this secret of liberation through the grace of Shukadeva Goswami, for the latter had informed the king that the highest perfection of life is to be in remembrance of Narayan at the end of the life. This canto starts with this statement of Shukadeva Goswami in response to Parikshit Maharaj's question, what is the duty of a man at the time of death? What should he be remembering? Ante Narayana Smriti, Shukadeva Goswami replies, one should remember Narayan at the time of death. Parikshit Maharaj was destined to give up his body at the end of 7 days, and thus he decided to continue remembering the Lord by his association with the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus to quit his body in full consciousness of the presence of Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Soul. Very fascinating, and it's not directly involved. His quitting the body after 7 days, all orchestrated by the Lord, He could have countered, he didn't. He was taking his role as in the plan of the Lord. But it's described that when Shukadeva, because you can read it in the 12th canto, that when Shukadeva Goswami had finished reciting, so to speak, at least in terms of this particular pastime, and he departed from that place, it said that Parikshit Maharaj left his body there and then. It wasn't due to the bite of the snake, the Tarksha, the snake bird. The body was already dead when Tarksha came, in a sense. Shukadeva Goswami had already left it. Excuse me, Parikshit Maharaj had already left the body. It's described in the 12th canto. And that is, he left his body because of the... No, he left his body already. And then the bird came, snake bird came and, bit the body. But he's already gone. As it said, described there, the biting of Tarksha was a complete waste of time. He'd already left the body. But it was part of the pastime. The hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam performed by professional man is different from the transcendental hearing of Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit was a soul realized in the absolute truth, Sri Krishna, personality of Godhead. The fruitive materialist is not a realized soul. He wants to derive some material benefit from his so-called hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam. Undoubtedly, such an audience hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the professional man can derive some material benefit as they desire, but that does not mean that such a pretense of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam for a week is as good as the hearing of Maharaj Parikshit. It's because of fashion, it's become a fashion, it's Bhagavat Saptaha. It's described by Sri Vyasadeva, this Bhagavat Saptaha is hearing in the mode of passion. That wasn't the mood of Parikshit Maharaj, although it was 7 days, because he was destined, he only had 7 days. That is described in the Bhagavat Mahatmya how there's 3 types of hearing. I mean, there's many other types of hearing, but in terms of the modes of nature, there are 3 types of hearing. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. Goodness is that one hears attentively without break over a period of months, whatever. Not like... Mode of ignorance is very lazy, you're kind of like on and off over a year. I mean, it's the time's given. And 7 days is rajasic, passion, trying to squeeze it in, you see devotees doing it. They're like rushing against time to try to get it out, get it done. Just get the thing done. You finish your 16 rounds. You finish the book. What's next, We did it, 7 days. Rajasic. But very peacefully and carefully hearing, just repeating also, but questioning and so on. Going deep into the subject matter, not lazy, just on and off over a year or 2. All are, you could say all, if we're hearing from the right source, all are good in one sense. But anyway, that's just a little something. But this Bhagavat Saptaha has become quite a common thing, and maybe it attracts people somehow or other. If they hear from the pure source, then of course there's tremendous benefit. Nivrittatar Shupaki Manata, those who are completely free from any material motivation. Process of devotional service works like that. Even in kirtans, sometimes we may have a mixed motivation when we go for a kirtan program, mela, or anything, come to that. But if the leader or the guide, teacher, whatever, is pure, and one hears from them, then we can also become transformed or purified. Here in the kirtan melas, what they have nowadays is a new thing on their agenda also. These 24-hour kirtans or, whatever, 2-day, 3-day programs. If the lead singer or the leaders are focused on the essence of kirtan, then everyone else can also, if they open their hearts, can also be caught up in that purposeful objective. Otherwise, sometimes pride or lust and other unwanted tendencies, attitudes can predominate, and it doesn't really help the audience to become liberated or freed from the modes of nature. We have to hear from Nivritatarshu Upagimanat, those who are above the modes of nature. Then the subject matter of Kutam Shloka Ganana Vadat can be effective, Bhavoshiti Chotam and Obiramat. That the medicine can act, transforming our minds or our consciousness away from material motivation to pure motivation. It is the duty of the sane to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from a self-realized soul and not be duped. You say duped or duped? What do you say? Duped or duped? There's a lot of English words like that. If you're American, you say it one way. If you're English, you say, I've forgotten which is which. When you're in ISKCON, you don't know. You have, Is it duped or duped? Duped? Huh?
Duped in the UK, duped in America.
You get duped. If you want to get duped, go to America. If you want to be duped, stay in England. Okay. I've been Americanized, A lot of words like that. So whatever it is, don't be duped. Another way of saying it. Don't be duped. Okay? Or stupid. Don't be stupid and be duped. Okay? One should continue such hearing till the end of one's life so that one can actually have the transcendental association of the Lord and thus be liberated simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. What a simple process, especially when you get old, isn't it? When you're young, you're a bit passionate sometimes, I think. I don't know. Are you? Seems like young people are more in the mode of ignorance now than they used to be. Lazy. Tired after like 4 hours, they're exhausted, Isn't it? Maybe not even 4 hours, maybe 1 minute. 1 minute exhausted. Can't dance in kirtan after a few minutes, you're tired. You should be able to dance for at least 7 hours non-stop, at least. Should be able to cook, We used to cook on Janmashtami time. I remember one Janmashtami at the manor we were cooking. We didn't sleep for 3 days, round the clock cooking. Two and a half, 1 day, then 1 day, 1 day. Yeah, 2.5 days. Not tired. Absorbed. Nowadays it's like, doesn't happen very often. Maybe some. But absorption, mamchiyo vyabhichayana, in devotional service. Full absorption. Maharaj Pariksit had already given up all his connections with the kingdom and family, the most attractive features of materialism. But still he was conscious of his material body. He wanted to be free of such bondage also by the constant association with the Lord. Everything depends on association, basically speaking. Whether it's physical or personal association or environmental association or hearing, the type of subject we hear from, or even the thoughts which we entertain within our hearts, minds. Depends on association. So the whole process is to try to associate properly, associate with Krishna in his many forms. Just like we're sitting here in the temple, when you look around, what do you see? What do you see? Nothing?
Krishna's pictures.
Pardon?
Krishna's pictures.
Krishna's pictures. Okay, good. When you go out on the street in Oxford Street, look around, what do you see? Pardon? Someone said? Huh? Physiotherapy? Who said that?
Retail.
Retail. Retail?
Sometimes Bhagavad Gita with brahmacharis.
Oh my, when those guys are out there causing trouble.
Distributing books.
Yeah, well, maybe sometimes, but most of the time not. Not enough, anyway. We were in Tunbridge Wells the other day. Rupanuga, you were there with me. In Tunbridge Wells, if you ever heard of that. Tunbridge Wells. And the second person we saw said something like, "Oh my God, I never thought I'd see Krishna in Tunbridge Wells." Christian lady, huh? She was a kind of posh Christian lady. And she bought a Bhagavad Gita, believe it or not. Yeah, she paid money and bought a Gita. She was surprised to see Krishna in Tunbridge Wells. People don't see us. Most of the people have never seen us. They have no idea that Hare Krishna exists, practically. What was that sign on the bus when we came? 2 buses in a row, wasn't it? What did it say? You can find India here or something. Discover, yeah, a big sign on the buses, You can discover India here, and a big picture of the skyline of Mumbai, all the skyscrapers, and it's their idea of discovering India. Trying to advertise their skyscrapers. Now you see, the only person who spoke to us today was, some beggar, right? Begging money, a drink or something. You see all kinds of material things going on. It's not very Krishna conscious association. But in the temple you see pictures. You see, like even Bhagavatam is flying in the sky in this temple. You see, Transcendental Bhagavatam is like flying in the sky up there. Not to speak of the most beautiful deities of the Lord. And you see devotees, huh? Well, you see persons who come here for hopefully some devotional reason. What else do you see? Anything else? That's the secret, they say. Famous stories, the eye of the bird. How Arjuna didn't see the bird, he didn't see the tree, he didn't see anything, he just saw the eye of the bird. Arjuna. Dronacharya, what do you see, Arjuna? What do you see? I see what else do you see? Nothing else. I don't see the bird, I just see the eye. So the target was to shoot the eye. The dummy bird. The focus of a devotee, wherever they go, they see Krishna. It may not be on that level. So we need this transformation, this purification of sadhana, hearing and chanting in the temple. Associate with devotees wherever in a home. Make that home a temple. Wherever you look, you see pictures of Krishna. You hear the sound of Krishna's name. There's no rock music playing here, is there? What are you looking at on your phone? Huh?
Notes.
Pardon?
Taking notes.
Oh, we're taking notes. Okay, good. Sometimes you're doing something else during the class on that mobile, isn't it? Huh? You ever had that experience? You may remember to turn the dialing tone off, or silence it, but you're still active on the mobile. Sometimes it's not. You not digest anything like that. I mean, if you're taking notes, that's fine. Or if you're referring to the verse, that's fine. But not texting others about, your daily business or whatever. You may also be even more worse. You may be the boys may be looking at the girls may be looking at the boys. It sometimes happens. Kirtan made it happens. It can happen anywhere. So you try to at least try to control those tendencies and try to absorb the Bhagavatam. And the same thing applies to everything. Arti, japa, prasadam. What to say? This temple is the most ideally situated temple practically in our movement in terms of preaching. You're right in the heart of the, what would you call it? The month? I don't know, I can't use words like that. Anyway, you're in the heart of the city. Put it like that. Put a nice name. You're in the heart of the city. And all around us, we're surrounded. I see you're building your new temple next door is coming up. There's scaffolding there. Is that the new temple? You can extend between, make a big temple room. Is that the idea next door? Is that what's going on? If only. What are they building next door? What's it going to be? Pardon? A what? Gentleman's club. Oh, very good. Well, this world is no fit place for a gentleman, so maybe they'll hand it over to us because it's no fit place for a gentleman. A gentleman's club, is that what they're building there, is it? It's a nice, that sounds good. What about a gentle ladies club? No? What to do? Whatever it is, it's probably something materialistic, I would imagine. We're surrounded by it. Well, it's so important. The temple is here, Prabhupada, Radhalanda is where I've come here to bless the whole city, but also to spread their glories everywhere. They could be anywhere, as they desire. But they're right in the heart of London. And to spread the heart, from the heart, blood comes, isn't it? The heart. Everything comes out from the heart. The heart is like the key organ in the body. And, the energy, everything, life force, everything coming out from there. So we're in the heart, and this is the real life force of the city, is the Krishna temple here in the Soho Street. We have to be strong. So hearing and chanting, strong sadhana. So we can go out, and from here, as a base, Prabhupada said, we send the devotees go out. The temple is not a place for eating and sleeping. It's a place where we go out and spread the message of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and so on. It's an ideal location. You just walk out the door, you're right there. You don't have to go anywhere. Paris, we have to go like 20 kilometers on bus, train, walk before we reach the city center. But here you just walk out the door, you're so fortunate. And you don't even have to walk out the door. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people coming into the temple every day, isn't it? Sometimes it's packed in the temple. There's so much opportunity lying here, or is here. In Paris, hardly anyone comes during the week. Very rare. So far away. We don't have the facilities you have here. And do we have, I suppose we don't have the forces either to do it. But here you do. It's a wonderful facility. And it's a wonderful place. England is as ripe as they get in this world today for Krishna consciousness. It'll become riper, but it's very ripe, isn't it? Where do we go? Ashford. You remember Ashford? What's your comment on Ashford? We went, 3 or 4 of us were traveling town to town doing books and Harinam last week. What was Ashford like? Pardon? Huh? Extraordinary. Well, that can be a word used for all kinds of different, it's not it is a right word, but it can mean many different things. Extraordinary, positive, negative. It can mean many things. Extraordinary what?
In the sense that the people were very much receptive in Ashford. They were coming to us.
They were coming to us.
Yeah.
You hardly had to go to them. They were coming to us, practically speaking. I mean, before we even started, Tarun was there too. Tarun was traveling with me. He was there. I mean, we just you and I. The others who were doing, you were off behind somewhere with books, and Lo-Chan was parking the car. And as soon as we started Hare Krishna, the first thing some guy on a bike said, Hare Krishna. First thing, pulled out his neck piece. You know, totally receptive. And then another guy came, talked to Tarun, Bengali guy, and he was happy because when Tarun sees a Bengali, he becomes ecstatic. And so they were chatting for a minute, and then I was talking to the other guy, and he was talking to the Bengali. And then the Bengali could hear the other guy was also the white guy I was talking to, who was also devotee. And the Bengali embraced him and said, my brother, like this, on the street. These are two, you know, we say karmis normally, embracing each other like this on the street. With Krishna in the center. And people were just coming up to the book table, weren't they? We were just coming up, looking at books, giving donations. We completely ran out of books. Small town, Ashford. I guess those have been there before. You wouldn't have known that they'd been there before. The guy who had the neck piece actually got them from Soho Street, by the way. Come to the temple here. Tremendous. Everywhere we went, I mean, I would say everywhere we went was extraordinary experience. Even we went to not even a town, it was just a housing estate and a highway through the middle of it with maybe 5 or 6 scattered shops, like sometimes highways do. You know, you drive through them. Let's do it here. It's got a population over 15,000 people living there, geographically. And let's just chant on the street and see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens. We had our biggest collection on the street. Nobody around. I spoke to 4 people, 5 people. That's all we saw practically. One car took 3 Gitas. Just one car. 3 Gitas. Stopped the car. Opened the window. Some young Indian students. They took 3 Gitas. You never know. Another boy, Carlo his name was, I think half South American, half Japanese, walking along to get his bus. Stopped him. Hare Krishna, really interested. He said, I see you guys every week I see you guys in Brighton. No one's ever talked to me, no one's ever offered me a book. So he went off with a book. There's unlimited facilities, or opportunities, let's say, to spread Krishna consciousness. The chanting, kirtan, everywhere you go. You were with us in Horsham. Is it Horsham? Horsham, just south of Crawley. Saturday, you remember Saturday afternoon, what the weather was like? Raining, non-stop rain, non-stop. Somehow we found a little spot. I was amazed about the number of people coming up, taking books, giving donations. We were like crammed in like sardines in this little sheltered spot. Still, Krishna sent people along, one after the next. You just have to go there. Prabhupada said, we should know that in every village and town, there are candidates for Krishna consciousness. He writes that. We just have to be there. Hare Krishna. There's nothing more. I mean, this is a preaching center. It's a temple, the most gorgeous deities manifest in existence. It's a preaching center with beautiful accompanying sounds in the background. This is a daily affair now, is it? Renovation work going on next door. And And a great opportunity, all the seeds, so many seeds have been planted, now we just have to cultivate those seeds. And the more Krishna conscious the devotees are, the more the potency and the effect of awakening that in others. You see the street as a temple, isn't it? When you get in the mood, you see the street as a temple. One of our devotees in France, well, he's not there now, he's in Portugal, but he wrote a little poem. He said, the street is a temple, the books are the deities, and the people all coming, they're the worshippers. They're the congregation worshipping the deities. He was seeing it like that. You take the temple everywhere. If we absorb it, you take it everywhere. Yeah. Focus. We used to go out on book distribution. We'd always carry a nice picture of Radha Londoneshwar with us on the street. And regularly look at that picture, remembering what we're doing it for. To give the people the darshan of the deity. And the books are the written incarnation, the literary incarnation of Godhead, so they're getting that opportunity to associate with him through the books. Just, Prabhupada said, they just touch the book, they get a benefit. They just see the book, they get benefited. We see a devotee in that spirit, they get benefited. This is why Krishna consciousness is said to be the universally, the welfare movement for the whole universe, the most merciful mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, freely giving Krishna consciousness, even people want or don't want, fit or unfit, distributing to everyone through the holy name, prasadam. Very important to give prasad. Something you had that experience. Remember how we were lamenting we didn't have prasadam to give people. As soon as we had it, it was all gone in no time, wasn't it? We had one day, we had some to distribute. It's gone in no time. No time. Carry prasadam, cookies, or something with you always. Ladies, when you're going shopping, always carry cookies with you. And a book in your bags. Don't just go shopping and come back. I never forget one time we go through different stages of devotional service. One time I was, let's say, a little struggle in our efforts of trying to practice Krishna consciousness. And I wanted to read something which I didn't ever read before. Somebody who fascinated me was Francis of Assisi. So I read some books about Francis of Assisi, Christian saint. And one statement there where it'll be worded in different editions, but basically like this, that one of his followers asked him, should we walk when we go to spread the message? He said, when we go to preach, he said, if your walking is not preaching, you shouldn't go anywhere. It's not we're going to preach. Our life should be always preaching. Preaching is not just words. It's behavior, attitude, and so on. Example. That's the main preaching. So, it's not you just, I'm going for kirtan. It's a little ritualistic, isn't it? 1 hour a day or 1 hour a week. The heart should be a temple. We should be constantly in kirtan, always thinking of how to spread the glories of the Lord. So anyone, doesn't matter who we are, we may not be able to go out like some of you on the street all day long distributing books, austere. Many times you might say austere. People are not always so receptive. Even in England, you'll find. Were you there when we had 1 or 2 unreceptive responses? We had one. Oh, you were not in Kettering. No, that was a little week before. We were in Kettering on Harinam. You may have heard of Kettering or not, I don't know. We went at an interesting time. We went to an interesting part. It was probably the most run-down part of the town. And one guy wanted to take the cartels and smash us all on the head with the cartels. He wasn't very receptive. Luckily, we had a very strong and passionate devotee with us who I had to restrain him from responding in an over-enthusiastic way. He was twice the size of him, could have pulverized him, but I restrained him. And where was the other place we had a good reception? Oh, in Horsham. No. Horsham. No, Red Hill. Red Hill. We went out on Sunday afternoon before the program for an hour or two in Red Hill, if you ever heard of Red Hill, next to Reigate, just north of Crawley. And you've never been there before. It's Lord Chaitanya's mission, isn't it? What's his mission? I mean, you could answer that in many ways, but what answer would you give? What is Lord Chaitanya's mission? To wake up. Jeev Jago, that's his mission. That's one way of answering it, yes. What else is his mission? Huh? Someone said something?
We had a holy name chanted in every town.
Okay, Pati Vidyachi Ati Nagaradi Gram. That's one. That's okay, we'll stick with that one because that's basically the one we're referring to anyway. You could have answered many other ways. Every town and village, my holy name, the Lord's holy name will be heard and chanted. Has the Lord's holy name, maybe it has been heard in every town and village of this country, I don't know. Maybe it hasn't. I mean, there's a lot of villages in England. A lot. Well, they may have heard it on TV or somebody, has said it because they have somebody related to them or something. It probably has, but that's not our business today. Oh, it's been done, now we can go to sleep again. Our business finished. But it's the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everywhere we should go and spread the holy name. London is probably, I haven't been most of the major cities in China. I've been to one or two. But pretty much everywhere. South America I haven't been, but we know the geography of South America. Otherwise, pretty much everywhere. And I would say London is the best city in the world for this. How many inner suburbs do you have? When I say inner suburbs, let's say the official metropolitan area of London, which has a population of 9 million, just over. How many places can you go? I mean, you can go anywhere, but let's say townships. I don't know any other city like London. I don't know anywhere else like London. There are numerous townships. It never seems to end, isn't it? I mean, the list is huge. Huge. And you've got the city centre, which has so many places. I mean, it's not just Oxford Street, is it? Covent Garden's over there, Piccadilly's over there, Kensington. So many places, isn't it? Knightsbridge. So many metropolis, like Tower of London, around Westminster Abbey. There's people everywhere. Victoria's packed, isn't it? It's like a beehive of people, isn't it? Right? Incredible place. And you go all the suburbs. You go up north. A number of suburbs that there are there. It's incredible. Wembley and Harrow and Enfield and this Barnet and Rickmansworth. There's no end of suburbs. Why you laugh when I said Rickmansworth? I was there last week. No, a week before. Incredible. How much opportunity is there? You can spend your whole life. You could have 6 Sankirtan full-time parties going around London. It's like you never did it before. It's like amazing.
And everyone's coming into London as well.
The whole country, not the whole world comes to London. You know, they may not go to Harrow or Barnet or something. There you meet the local people, I guess. Well, something like that. You've got a tremendous variety here in London. Suburbs are different. You go to Whitechapel, you're in one country. You go to, different, nationalities, different cultures, different parts of the city. It's fascinating. To me, it's like, a Sunday feast, like an unending Sunday feast, a city like London. There's just so many preparations to enjoy. It's so much fun, isn't it, going to new places? We were doing like three towns a day on our little tour just now, average like that. Boom, boom, boom. Krishna always sends somebody along, even in the driest and most extraordinary, in the opposite direction, negative speaking, places, you find somebody extraordinary pops up. Krishna has his plans. You just have to take it. Prabhupada said, giving them mercy, you just have to take it. Don't waste our human life. We used to have a map, the whole city of London, all the suburbs. Some train lines you go along, there's like 8, 9, 10 suburbs you can go on, You go out down south, you come, I don't know, Kennington, and Clapham, Tooting, Balham, all the way down Wimbledon, Richmond, Kingston, Staines. No end of suburbs going in that direction. No end. And many of them are busy. Even during the week, they're busier than most towns. Many of them. Krishna's arranged this. Take the opportunity. What sits there? Best way to use our human form of life. Hare Krishna. And the Bhagavatam, follow up with the Bhagavatam sets. How many are we on now? 500 and something? 530? 550 sets already distributed. There's 3 months to go or something like that. We can all take part in that little way. We can all participate. Encourage others to participate. Srimad Bhagavatam, which is for this age of Kali, will give light to the darkness of this world. Hare Krishna. Any comments, questions? When we hear, and the, let's say, the effectivity of the hearing is really realized when we share it with others. We're not here just to accumulate knowledge or just to follow a regime of regulations, just to look good. We're here to share the message. And internally, we're here to realize the subject matter. You're not just knowing it or going through the motions. There's realization. And Krishna gives the realizations when we try to share it to our best capacity. We're all individuals, and we may have different ways of sharing it. The ladies are blessed because most ladies have a very soft heart, and they motherly nature. They like to feed their children. So ladies, you can make prasadam and try to distribute prasadam along with everything else as much as you can. Something easily acceptable. I think worldly and generally cookies are often the most acceptable prasadam. From what I've seen worldwide, the cookies are almost everywhere, popular, almost. And definitely in England, people are a little cookie. They like cookies. Mostly. make sure they know whether it's got nuts or no nuts in it, or whether it's got dairy or no dairy. It'd be good to make something a little bit more official with an actual label on there, saying this cookie has nuts or doesn't have nuts, or whatever people are into these days. Gluten-free or sugar-free, I don't know, whatever it is, so that people know what they're getting. You have to be very careful with that, that's for sure. For some reason now, it's become a big thing. I mean, no question of that. 50 years ago, I never heard of anyone who had nut allergies in my life until about 10 years ago. Don't know why it's suddenly come into society, I have no idea. Gluten problems. I never heard of anyone until about 10, 15 years ago in my life in that regards. Certainly not on the street. Now we're in an age where people have so many problems. Can't digest even ordinary food anymore. So you have to take that into account. Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It seems that in the old days, there were more Harinams and less book distributions, but nowadays, it's more book distribution and less Harinam.
Hopefully, it's just not less of both. Some places it's less of both.
Harinam has
but here you're doing more book distribution.
How could we get to that level whereby both are equally kind of...
well, I don't know about equal, but more and more of both, let's say. How we can increase all limbs of sharing Krishna consciousness. Everyone's an individual. This movement has become predominantly a community movement. There are not many devotees living in temples. You have more here than most Western temples. Many Western temples have nobody living in the temple. Or one pujari from India, a Bengali, usually. From Mayapur, usually. He's the only devotee in the temple. There are temples which were thriving in America. We have a sign on the door, please phone this number if you want to take darshan. You have to make a booking for darshan. They were thriving temples. They only open the door once a week, the Sunday program. It's changed, the dynamics of our movement have changed. Everyone could comment differently on these things. We could say it's an opportunity or an understanding that the methodology of spreading Krishna consciousness may be adjusted. Now, when it's predominantly a community movement, which it is in every Western, even here, the majority of the practitioners do not live in the temple. And maybe, how many of you live in a temple? Put your hand up if you live in the temple means including the flats or whatever you've got here. So how many of you don't live in the temple? How many of you don't live at all then? You neither live in the temple nor out of the temple. Where do you live? One or two hands didn't go up at all. Never mind. But the majority, maybe you can't. I haven't got the energy to put my hand up. I'm not sure where I live. That's a good question. I can't remember. Sometimes people can't remember where they live. Situations got so bad. But mostly all the devotees live here, there, and everywhere, isn't it? Say you live in Hackney. Anyone live in Hackney? Anyone live in Clacton? Clacton? Clapham. Clacton's on the sea. Clapham. Anyone live in Clapham? No one's clapping. No one's hacking. Anyone live in Wembley? Anyone live in... Where do you live then? That's it, isn't it? Where do you live? Pardon? Kensal Green? Kensal Green? Kensal Green. Okay. Where do you live? Belfast. 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 You come here every morning? You're just visiting, okay. Belfast. An outer suburb, isn't it? Somewhere out there. on the northwest somewhere. Where do you stay? Wimbledon, there you go, Wimbledon. Quick tennis player, huh? Plays tennis. You play tennis? No. I thought everybody in Wimbledon played tennis. So Wimbledon. Every of these places, and there are people all over the place there in Wimbledon, isn't it? Especially during they have the tennis thing there, isn't it? Famous Wimbledon. I don't know what goes on in Kensal Green, I'm not sure. But there are people there. And as the congregation, predominantly, they can distribute prasadam, inform people of the temple. You can arrange to have a kirtan festival in Wimbledon. Invite your friends and devotees in the park or wherever you can get, in the street. There's another beauty of this country is more open than many for, going, and nobody bothers you much, the authorities. I mean, they do sometimes, but not like most places. You can go and sit in the city centre and chant. We were in Coventry a week or two ago, city centre. I went there in the 70s. I haven't been there since the 70s, early 70s, in fact. The police, they were chasing us like out of that town, never come back here again. That was their mood, police. And there we are, 50 of us. I went from Leicester with about 50 devotees, together with the Coventry crew, parked right in the middle of the central square, shops and restaurants all around us. And, they don't have a quiet kirtan. They had these big speakers, roaring kirtan, devotees dancing like crazy all over the place. Three table length books and paraphernalia, chanting away there. Nothing. Nobody bothered us. No complaints, to my knowledge. One time the security, the warden, the Mao warden, or whatever you call him, came over and watched. I could see him talking to a devotee, probably explain what's going on here. 5 minutes later, he's dancing round and round with me in the circle in the middle of the kirtan. He came back 30 minutes later and said, could you give a 15-minute break? Just break for 15 minutes and then start again. And somebody, probably got fed up with it being non-stop. So just give a 15-minute break, it'll be okay. We did, and then everyone just distribute books for 15 minutes. But I mean, it's unimaginable. I can't imagine this going back 60 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever it is, 50 years ago. I just can't imagine it. It's almost unbelievable. We would sometimes have to run. Oxford Street was like cat and mouse. I mean, there were two police forces, Marylebone and, was it the other one on the other side? What's it called? Westminster. I don't know if it's still the same. One side of Oxford Street, the north side, was Marylebone, the south side. So when we see the cops coming on, if they were on the northern side, on the Marylebone, see them coming, we'd run across the street because they had no jurisdiction on the other side of the road. They stood there looking at us, And then, unfortunately, the cops from, this side would come, and we'd be stuck we go in the middle of the road, and there's like, then they come, and we all run in different directions to try down side streets, this, that. We were arrested every single day of the week. By the police, one way or another, on Harinam. And Prabhupada, around about 73, it was basically Prabhupada emphasized that now book distribution is the most important, effective process. But he said also, I know that wasn't emphasized quantitatively as much, but the Harinam should not be stopped. It should go along as well as the book distribution. Both should be there. He's putting his fingers in his ears here, I can see it. He's been out on Harinam all night long. I saw him at 6 o'clock last night, and I saw him again at 6 o'clock this morning on the street out there. Yeah, I think it was all night doing Harinam. All day doing books, all night doing Harinam. They're transcendentally non-different. So the congregation, books, Harinam, they go so well together. They're such a nice combination. And there will be devotees who just focus on books. That's the greatest service you could, without a doubt. But they should all go on, chanting Lord Chaitanya's mission, spread the holy name. And why are we just doing books? We want people to chant. He's good. I saw Rupanuga, everyone who took a book, and I saw them with their hands up in the air, Gauranga!
Gauranga!
And then they would say, Gauranga. They don't know what it meant. Gauranga. I tell you, about 6 years ago, no, 10 years ago, I was on my way to Rath Yatra. I got Lyme disease. I got bitten by a tick. And all these circles and stuff. I didn't get very bad. I got caught it in time. And I couldn't come to the Rath Yatra, so I was stuck in Brighton, house there. And after I was getting a little bit better, I went for a walk across the South Downs. I don't know, it's got those hills behind Brighton. I don't know, South Downs, maybe I don't know what they're called. I walked across the Downs on my own, about 8 miles. Just walked across the hills to Lewis, a town called Lewis. In the middle of the Downs, there was nobody around except for a few sheep. And there was one pylon on top of the hill there, you know, maybe mobile, so I don't know, there's these discs on top of it. And I was walking past it, and suddenly I heard, Gauranga! There was a guy on top fixing the pylons, and he saw me pass by, and he shouted out, Gauranga. Middle of nowhere, in the middle of the hills. Not a person to be seen for miles. And one guy on top there shouting, Gauranga. He'd met, I don't know, came across it when he was living up north in Scotland or somewhere. Call out Gauranga and be happy or something. And when he saw me, it reminded him, so he called out Gauranga. If I'd been dressed with pants and he wouldn't say anything, but dressed like this, he called out Gauranga. This is also preaching. Even dressing like this is preaching, even if you don't say anything. People remember Krishna. Like it'll lump it, but that's what they do. Positive or negative, they get benefited. They remember Krishna, which is the purpose of what we're doing. To remember Krishna. It's not just to distribute books or make money or open temples. It's to remember Krishna. In many ways that Krishna consciousness can spread by your behavior, by your good behavior. People are impressed, and that helps them back to Godhead. They have a good feeling towards that devotee. He helped me, the old lady. He helped me across the road. Those Christians are nice people. First person I met in Coventry, I was sat waiting for everyone else to arrive. We were the first ones to arrive. Came up to me. There was, you know, all the different groups were out there shouting with their microphones and propagating their causes. Said, I like you people. You people are peace lovers, not like those guys over there. He doesn't know us well enough, but anyway. And he immediately took a boat. Good impression is also nice. Leave a good impression. You give prasadam, it's a very good thing to do. It's not difficult. Krishna will help. We were in, I don't know what it was anyway, long story, but to cut it short, they had this little box, a wooden box with books in it. It said something like swap a book or something, I don't know what it said, something like that. So I put a book in and took one out. You know, that's another way you can distribute books. In France, this is huge. These little libraries, you know, free libraries on the street. Just put your book in, and people can take it. I don't know if they have that much in England, but in France it's really big. Different ways, you know, that you're not going out on the street. person to person, I see, but ways of getting the message out there. Ways of sharing it. Ways of sharing it. Okay, Prameya's already gone. It's just too much for him. What is this chanting business? Books, books, books. It's Maya. It's Maya to go out and chant. Don't worry, it's not Maya. Yes.
Maharaj, now the brahmachari are well organized because they have a schedule for Harinam, isn't it? How does it work exactly?
We have book distribution, and then every day, well, 5 days a week, there'll be a team of 2 brahmacharis plus a book distributor and anyone else that wants to join going out at 3:30 every day in the temple.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We had a program when we were doing traveling Sangatam in the early 70s in England, down to town. We would distribute books. Only we had different schedules at different times, but one time we had this schedule. We distribute books up till about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and from 5 to 6 we do Harinam. Another time, I remember we were doing this, midday we did Harinam, the book distribution, because we found that midday in the towns, where people are rushing, you may find it different now, but we found that wasn't very good for book distribution. They were all running to their bus, running to their lunch, running back to work. So we would cut out then and just do Harinam. And then we get the Back to Goddess route to distribute them during those periods. Or we just download whatever books were left. 1 or 2 hours a day on Harinam and like 6 hours a day on books. That was like our schedule. Like that. Same devotees, you know. So we do like 1 hour in the lunch and 1 hour in the evening and 3 hours in the morning books, 3 hours in the afternoon books, like that. That was a common schedule which we had when we were traveling. You know. There are different ways of, for the Harinam, for the public, one thing, but for the devotees is also important. It's incredible, you know, to absorb oneself in dancing or just chanting, just being there with the Harinam party on the streets. This is the medicine. This is Lord Chaitanya's medicine. We need to take the medicine. We can't just give. We need the medicine too. Not just the public. We also need the medicine. Very much so. As you're giving so much. So the community can also be, whatever time they've got, be just as much a part of this as anyone else. Ladies, men, children, old people, anyone, whatever you can do, try to spread the message of Krishna consciousness. Carry a book with you. We've all heard this over and over again, and you can never be reminded enough. Wherever you go, always at least have one book with you, isn't it? What did I say when we left the apartment this morning? At least one book. So we carried a book. This, unfortunately, is spilled. I could have given it to that one person. We were in a bit of a rush, actually. It was late. I had to get over here, but I think, I hope I've still got the book somewhere. Anyway, carry one book with you. Maybe someone's taken it. Or just slide it in your pocket. Get a coat like this. You know, I can put 6 Bhagavad Gitas in this coat. Get the right coat. That's one of the secrets. Having the right coat. The right bag, you know. You have some coats you can't even get your hand in it. What to speak of a book. Carry them with you. I don't have any prasad because you never give me any prasad, but take some, you know. You can't really take sandesh or, you know, dal or gulab jamans very easily. And then it's, here, take a gulab, you know, put your hand out all over that suit or something. You know, something practical, you know, dry and practical. One devotee, lovely devotee, tried to make us some cookies the other day, and as soon as I opened it, it just fell to pieces, just crumbs everywhere. It wasn't properly cooked, you know. Some of them were okay, but most were just crumbs. Was it you? It was you who distributed them all over the car, wasn't it? Was it you when you were taking your bag? One of the doors picked the bag up in the back of the car and upside down, didn't realize what it was, and all the crumbs fell all over the car. So make them nice and according to how people normally receive a cookie. I don't know. Usually it's a little crisp, isn't it? Well cooked and crisp, but not too hard that you can't bite it and you break your teeth, Sometimes they're like rocks, You've got to learn the art of making a cookie. So it's not too soft, it falls to pieces. Or not too hard, it breaks your teeth. Learn the art. Wonderful way of put a little note on there, maybe the dress or something on there. You can follow up on it. Okay, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Shravanam Kirtanam Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.